used to that zoom panning effect after the intro. I want to do a few videos about dynamic effects, but I've also just updated my Foundry to the newest version earlier than I normally would. And I'm really regretting it. I'm having loads of problems with modules, and dynamic active effects appears to be one of them. So I'm not going to show you everything I was going to show you, but what it looks like I can show you is something that I do with characters that I make, either for campaigns that I'm a player in to help my DM out, or for my players if they're quite new. So before I get into it, with D&D, it's obviously building a character is quite complex. If you have somebody new, you can very easily find yourself in a situation, particularly early campaign, where you're saying things like, why is your DC that? Or why do you have 14 strength? Because, looking for all your stats here, particularly with new players, it's very easy for a mistake to be made with character creation. I like to, with my characters, set a lot of the features of character creation up as dynamic effects. So at any time, I can open my character and see why they have what they have. Now, what I normally do before this, anyone who's ever DM'd for me will know that I send them this horrible big spreadsheet. And it's not any sort of template I use online. It's essentially my step-by-step workflow of how I made my character. These are the stats I rolled. This is the race I picked, therefore I have this to add on here. And they can look down through this spreadsheet and go, okay, I can see how we got from no character to the character we're going live with. This is another way of doing that. I'm going to just go through some real basics here. It's also going to be a chance for me to show you one of the modules I mentioned when I was talking about dynamic effects in my last video. I'm going to make a new actor. We'll make it a new player character. We're going to call it... Oh, God, I should have thought of a name. Oh, God. But I've already done Bob before. I watched Critical Role this morning. We'll call it Matt Mercerson. Who knows? Create actor. Let's give him a picture. Let's give him a piece of art. Who am I going to pull through from? I'm not going to... Oh, we're going to use this guy. The big story behind this guy. Now, I'm not going to go through and set everything. I'm not going to do this in full. You'll know if you used dynamic active effects before, and it's my biggest irritation with a module. You can't edit an effect on what they call an owned item. So an item, I remember in Foundry, an item isn't just a physical item like a sword, it's any data item. So an item is also a spell or a class feature. It's really frustrating, especially if you're new to dynamic effects and you're still learning it and making mistakes. And I make loads of mistakes when I'm setting mine up still, that you can't just go in and edit it because it goes, oh no, you can't do that with an owned item. If I try to do this now, if I try to just throw on a sword, do I have a sword in my bag? Surely I've got a sword in my bag. There we go. I'm going to give this guy a great sword. I want to go into and edit the great sword. I want to go to the effects. I'm going to add an effect on. There we go. Manage an active effect within an item. An owned item is not currently supported and will be added in a future update, or so they say. It's been saying that for about a year. So what I'd want, if I was testing out an effect on this, I'd need to keep doing it in the actual item list on the right and put in my test version, drag it on, try to do it. Does it do what I want? No. If not, delete it. Go and edit it again. It's a real pain in the arse. But what you can do is just edit an effect. So you have, let me just get rid of that item. Take the sword out of their bag. So if I go to the effect tab, there's no effects active at the moment. So if I set an effect up properly on the menus on the right, which I'll show you in future videos when things are enabled again, or when the new version is working how I want it to, I'll be showing you things like how when you cast the shield spell, it will add 5 AC on you until the beginning of your next turn. I'll be showing you things like how a paladin aura can be applied to people around it. But those are based off, things that you do. Those are activated, so they have a duration. Something like, and I should have thought of one beforehand. Apologies if I say an incorrect racial here. Things like an orc having +2 strength. Well, they're always going to have a +2 strength, aren't they? They're not going to turn that on. So we'll want that all the time. Things like that, you can just put straight into the effects tab. So they're not tied to anything. They're just there. Now, I do know some people who will create effects that they come in and okay, you've cast shield and go into your effects tab and toggle it on. Not really needing to do that anymore. Today, I'm going to be looking just at passive effects. So I can see here, Matt Mercerson has, he's a new character. He has 10s across the board. I want to add 2 strength on for him. So I'm going to click add a new passive effect. Here's our new effect. And I'm going to edit it. Now I know it's not always needed. I do like to go in and add these, these names in. So I'm going to say str, this is called str +2 racial. So when I look at the effects tab for this character, I can see where all of these come from. I've done this on, other characters of mine. I've had one where I've go, ASI +2 str, level 4. Again, you don't see it all the time, but if your DM's wondering why your stats are how they are and they open your, your character, they're not just going to see strength, strength, strength. They're going to go, oh, this one was character creation. This was about level 4 ASI. That makes sense why they have an extra 4 strength over what I thought they did. But I'm going to say, str +2 orc. I can change the icon. Is there a muscly arm? There's almost always a muscly arm. No muscly arm. Well, Foundry has let us down. Can't believe there's not a big beefy arm. Okay, in this case, we're going to use just an arrow up for strength up. I can change the icon tint for one. I don't know, but only that is the color that it appears on the character tooltip when it's active, and this is a passive, so that doesn't actually matter. But that's where you can change the color of how it will appear on the character sheet. Duration doesn't have a duration; it's a racial, it's permanent. Effects. You'll see there's an auras tab as well. I'm not touching on that in this video. Now, creating dynamic effects always makes me think of Excel. I do a lot of Excel with my work, and quite a few years ago, although I know I look very youthful, to create a lot of formula in Excel, you had to pretty much know from start to finish before you did it how you're going to type it out. So mistakes just ruined the entire formula. I found this to be very similar with dynamic active effects. There were a lot of things that I wanted to do with this module that I'd have to go and trawl around Discord forums or look online just to see, oh yeah, you want to do so-and-so. Well, the line for that is this. Or you can install this Chrome extension and log into your campaign as a player and open it and run this, and then you'll see what that field's called. Oh, Jesus Christ, that's it's so much messing around. This is where the module autocomplete inline values that I mentioned in my last video is fantastic. Because when I'm coming to... And you have got a bit of a menu down here as well, but it doesn't cover everything. If I want to put something in for, say, strength, if I put str, it looks through all of the other ones, all the fields it knows that have that as part of its name and pulls it through. This is absolutely amazing for you trying to find some of the more complicated values. And also, you don't have to know exactly how to spell them because I can just click on it and it puts it in. Things like that. Now, for what we're doing today, we can actually, it is quite a common one, so we can just get it from the menu. I could go in and say, abilities, strength, add +2. When I click submit, you'll see straight away, Matt Mercerson's strength, we laugh every time, Matt Mercer's strength goes up by 2. And that's there all the time now. We can toggle it. So, as you'll know, dynamic effects are quite high priority. If as part of a quest line, or a large plot element that's beyond just the cast of a spell in combat, this guy's strength was sapped and he was reduced. You can just come in and right-click toggle, and it goes to the inactive effects, and you'll see the strength has dropped back down. If they complete that quest, come in, right-click, toggle active effect. I could then go in and do another one. I really should have looked at what the orc racials are before this. I can't remember if orcs have dark vision. Let's say they do on this video. I always look these things up a second afterwards, but I always get quite a few comments. It's very helpful, people telling me. Assume by the time that you're watching this video that I've Googled it afterwards and realised. Let's just say dark vision, orc, maybe. I could go in and choose another icon. An eye with a cross through it. Oh, well. Yeah, I'm doing it. I know there's a cross through it. I told you blind icon, but yeah, we'll put that in. Effects, I could go in. Now, there's a few ways I'm going to try and look at this. Is dark vision just something? It does data attribute sense. It was dark vision. Now, I've not tried to do this before. For this one, for dark vision, I hardly ever play characters of dark vision. This could be binary, in that 0, they don't have dark vision, 1, they do. Or it could be a value to how many feet dark vision could they have. So I'm going to put 60 for now. And we'll see what happens. If I now go to the first part, dark vision 60 feet. So it isn't a binary yes or no, it's how many feet can they see. That's good to know. So I've now got that in. And again, I'm not going to do the whole thing because I'm sure you understand now. You're not going to learn anything more by me doing another 20 minutes building a full character. But yeah, that's something I really like doing. And I just think it makes it great for you justifying to the DM why things are the way they are. It's handy for you as a DM to set up for your players so that they're not accidentally overwriting and deleting things, and you've always got those hard-coded values in there, and it's a good way to learn active effects. So I'm going to keep checking to see when the module gets updated or fixed, or whether it's a problem with one of my other conflicting modules. I am going to be doing more on dynamic effects. I think I'll probably end up having 3 videos quite soon for dynamic active effects. One going through how they work properly for spells and the compendium of spells that's already in there. And then another one for using auras. So as ever, thank you very much for watching. Leave a comment, let me know what you liked, what you didn't like, and I'll see you again soon.